right, Firoza, let's now bring you some news from the Middle East. Now, the Saudi-led coalition says it carried out limited preemptive strikes in Yemen to prevent UAE-backed separatists from expanding conflict in certain provinces. The attacks follow last month's takeover of large swaths of Yemeni territory by separatists, including much of Hadramaut province. The leader of Yemen's Southern Transitional Council, Idrus al-Zubaydi, failed to board a flight to Riyadh and fled to an unknown location, the coalition said. In response, the Saudi-backed Presidential Council dismissed him for high treason and referred him to the public prosecutor over alleged armed rebellion and abuses against civilians. Coalition airstrikes in Al-Dal province repeatedly and reportedly killed at least 4 civilians and wounded 6 others. The strikes targeted armed movements in the separatist leader's home province, adding to the death toll of an already tense southern Yemen. The coalition said it is working with the Yemeni government and local authorities to maintain security. I now request retired Major General A.K. Siraj, who is a geostrategic expert, to join us in this discussion. Thank you, General Siraj, for joining us in this conversation. General Siraj joins us from New Delhi. General Siraj, what do you see the relation between the Saudi and UAE going from here? They've historically enjoyed cordial relations, but with these latest strikes, what's next?
Very correct, Kirti. You see, Saudi Arabia and UAE otherwise are friends. They both are having same type of population, Sunni Muslims, and they enjoy the best of the relation. But when it comes to Yemen, they are on the either opposite side. Now, as far as Saudi Arabia is concerned, it is backing the present government, and they are a coalition-led government which is backed by the Saudi Arabia. But the UAE is basically backing the separatist, which is the STC and Southern Transition Council. Now, what happened is that the STC has taken certain areas in Yemen. So now there was a peace talk going on between the STC and also the coalition which is led by Saudi Arabia, and their leader was to fly from Yemen and to Abu Dhabi, which he has not done. He has fled from there. So it seemingly looks to be that the relations are going to further deteriorate, because what was happening is whatever the situation is there today in Yemen will affect the relation between Saudi Arabia and UAE, because since they are on the opposite side in Yemen. Now this situation is very precarious. What is happening in Yemen, the inflation is very high, economy is not doing well, and also you find that the infighting is taking place. The STC was slightly taken certain areas of southern area of Yemen. Now the coalition government has managed to take some area, but the peace talks were going, and possibly the peace talks will fail because the STC leader Zubaydi has already fled. Now, another problem of Yemen is, we must not forget, is the Houthi rebel. You know, certain portion of Yemen is also occupied by the Houthi rebel, which are backed by the Iran.
Yes.
And now these are the ones which are operating in Red Sea, and they are not allowing the international ships to go by in the Red Sea and then go from to the Pacific Sea through the canal and Suez Canal, because Houthi rebels are the one which actually try to strike on the Israelis and American, but now they are striking everywhere. So the problem in Yemen is multifold. One is the problem that which is occurring between a Saudi-led coalition government and STC, wherein the fighting is now increased. The talks wanted to be there, but the talks will not able to take place because the STC leader Zubaydi is fled. And this is affecting the relationship between Saudi Arabia and UAE, because the STC is backed by the UAE. And now this you will find is a cause of concern, that in case Yemen is disturbed, the relationship between Saudi and UAE can again soar up. And the another issue which I told you is the Houthi rebel. They themselves are problem now. The US and Israelis want to strike on the Houthi rebels in Yemen because they are creating a problem in Red Sea. They are not allowing the international ship to use Red Sea and cross through the Suez Canal. And they are backed by the Iran because these are the Shia militants which are backed totally by Iran. So overall, the complexity of the situation itself is very disturbing in Yemen, wherein the relationship between Saudi Arabia and UAE will further go down in case this peace talk does not take place. And
Yeah.
to me, it looks like the peace talks are unlikely to take
Yeah.
because the STC commander has fled from there.
Yes. So he clearly wants to avoid a dialogue. If this peace dialogue doesn't take place, what's next then?
You'll find in case this peace talk does not take place, then you find the situation will become more complex, and you find more fighting will take place between Saudi-led coalition government and the STC, and you will find it people will suffer more. So and this will also have direct impact on the relation between Saudi Arabia and UAE, and which are soaring up. So therefore, the requirement of the day was that some peace talks can take place between STC and Saudi-led government, and that is what they were hoping. They were going to have a peace talk in Riyadh, and this was to be attended by a STC leader, basically Jubaidi, but he has now fled. So I find the situation will be very fluid, very complex, and due to this, you will find the fighting will break again between the Saudi-led coalition and also the STC, and you will find it the people will suffer. You will find poverty more increasing, humanitarian assistance is required. So overall, I say that the situation is going from bad to worse, and the relationship between Saudi Arabia and UAE will be also affected by what is happening in Yemen.
All right, sure. Thanks for your opinion and perspective there, General Siraj, but I request you to stay on.